Hey, it's Ember. Today I want to talk again about sovereignty, undistorted signal, and really feeling reality. I say these things, and it feels like, some people may interpret it as poetic, you know, or just something philosophical that you sit on an armchair about and you don't really bring into your life. But we really, like I say in my song lyrics, in Universal Flame, we have one chance in this form, you know? And like the song says, must open, not shut that door. And to realize with the truth, there's always more. And, uh, and so when we talk about sovereignty, we're not talking about you making a better vote on a voting ballot or, even though this is related, or you being, your own person in the very colloquial or generalized sense. But we're talking about signal, undistorted signal. And I like to think about reality as frequency, right? And so let's just go down to the brass tacks here. What do you get in undistorted sovereignty? You feel reality in a higher definition. I don't know about you, but for me, I don't care how much money or power there is in the world, feeling reality, being able to love in high definition, being able to feel yourself in high definition, to not be behind the stained glass is more important than any amount of money or power ever could be. I was noticing today that I was in court, something the way the prosecutor spoke, the judge spoke, and even watching a video with a police officer speaking. And I think, like, are you just regurgitating words? Like, are you even speaking from your heart right now? Because it sounds like you're like playing a part in like a role that you think you're fitting yourself into or something like that. In other words, are you really emanating from that flow that comes out of your heart and soul sovereignly, undistorting, in an undistorted way? Or are you saying something that you saw on TV once or heard someone else say that just worked in that setting? And is your whole life an amalgamation of these things that you just thought worked? And now it's almost like you're on autopilot without actually feeling reality, letting it sink into your marrow, into your bones. One example I can give is when I was younger, and I'm a singer-songwriter, I had trouble starting this because for me, playing music was very much like homework at the beginning, right? And I know many people experience the same thing. Um, and, because you sit down, it's like this rote mechanical repetition. Oh, I got to be good. I got to be able to hit these notes, be able to play these chords, whatever it may be. But something shifted in me when I realized that there's a dial that turns, a switch that is flipped. And when I felt the flow come out of me, it was no longer this feeling of like, this rote mechanical repetition, but rather the monkey mind, the scheduling mind, the mind that wanted to switch back and forth into different ideas, different concepts, the stained glass window that was, you know, keeping me from that undistorted signal in reality. If reality is coming in to my little holographic dewdrop of the cosmic evolution, it was almost like I was encasing my dewdrop in stained glass, you might say, where it was filtering everything. And even though I might say the right thing or even try to sing the right way or play the right way, it wasn't truly hitting my core. And so that switched for me when I realized what a different frequency it is when I sit down and let it flow from me without judgment, without intellectual shielding, without dismissal, without delay, and definitely without any shame or mockery. How many of us feel reality at that level? How many of us are just out there in this mechanized repetition of things we've heard on culture or TV or on screens or that someone else said? And so think about this fountain that I felt there in the guitar playing. And that's what kept me coming back. And now I can feel it in my dance, and my singing, and my movement, even on a hike. It's letting reality come to me in an undistorted way. It's not it's buffering, buffing down that stained glass window and making it transparent. Because what are we dealing with here? It's not that the concepts are lost. All of us are in a cosmic evolution that is inextricable. From the elements of the first suns to the chemicals in our bodies, the same thing with ideas. They are inextricable in a chain of chemical reaction in 3D ways, in frequency reactions in the deeper lens. And so I'm not saying give up your ideas, give up what you've learned, but make it transparent. Allow it to hit your heart at the deepest level. Because what do you gain from this? Undistorted sovereignty through undistorted signal. What do you gain from it? Feeling. And there's no amount of money that can supplant for actually feeling yourself, actually feeling reality. And so I'll make this one a short one, but I just want to hope that I've been talking about the double slit experiment. I've been talking about the collapsing waveform versus interference pattern, and all this can just seem too poetic or technical or scientific or whatever you want to say. But what I'm talking about is the feeling of yourself and reality. The signals that come in and the signals that bounce out. Consciousness is never created, only reflected. And are you reflecting it in a way that mirrors the broken hallway of mirrors of recursion and regurgitation? Or are you allowing for the signal to come in and be interpreted and manifested and imbibed sovereignly, where you can think actually for yourself? Not just say you're a critical thinker, but allow for the signal to come all the way through, and not just take shortcuts or whatever, have an authoritarian bias towards what something else told you, and many of us, because of pain, never let that light all the way in. But I'm here to, and some people don't even realize they don't even they have blinds, Some people are just sitting in the dark in the cave and don't even realize you can go over to the window and open the blinds. Don't even realize you can take away the colored stained glass and make it transparent. But I'm here to tell you, you can. And there's no amount of money or power that will ever supplant, like I said, for the clarity of perception. And when we talk about evolution, the chaining together of unbottlenecked, sovereign human minds, complexifying at higher and higher levels, is truly the evolution and progression of humanity, and the cosmic mind at large. So not only is it some poetic idea, not only is it something that can help everyone, it's not something that you force on anyone, because each of us have an interest in becoming more ourselves and becoming a clearer signal. And so I was talking to someone, they're like, we can't force anyone to do. I'm not forcing anyone. I'm just saying, don't you remember that original song? Don't you remember the way that felt originally, before you started to cover up everything with the automated programs of, I need to say this, I need to wear that in this particular space? Do you remember what the undistorted sovereignty felt like? If you do, you're welcome to sing along in your own way. And when we all sing together, that's true collective harmony. My name is Ember, and thanks for remembering with me.